G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game. We are here on Age of Mythology Retold to witness some pretty good players, at least from what I've seen. I tell you what, I've watched a couple of this Pegasus guy's games and, well, he is pretty good. He is absolutely a guy to watch. So anyways, let's get to it, ladies and gentlemen. Spawning in on the west side of the map in the color blue, playing as the Greeks on Zeus, representing Team Keen, it is Pegasus. And on the east side of the map in the color red, playing as the Norse. Ladies and gentlemen, he is going to be on Odin today. Take a look at this. We finally got it. It's our first Odin game. It is Zastosi. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. We are here on, I want to say, oh, this is, I'm going to go with something like, no, it's not Marsh. Is it Marsh? Nile Shallows. I never would have got that. I never would have got that. I've played this map, but I tell you what, it doesn't stick in the brain much. I like this map a lot, though. This is a fun map, mainly because there's lots of hunt on this map. Take a look at this. Starting hunt, 1,600 food. That's always a feels good, isn't it? Look at that. A whole bunch of food in there. Now, let's take a look at the starting hunts that we've got for Zastosi. I tell you what, I feel like I'm saying like Artosis, but also mixing it with a little bit of zest, maybe. Let's take a look and see how much food we've got in these. Now, normally it multiplies the hunt and always gives you an extra 800 food at the first level. When I say at the first level, that means in your first age, basically. So if you save it for the second age, then it's going to increase the amount of food that you get. I think it goes from 800 up to 1,200. Yeah, a lot of hippopotamus down here on the south side of the map. So looking forward to seeing exactly what we've got coming out of Odin today. Definitely, if I had to describe them, I would say probably a bit more focused on the economic side of things, Odin is. Just because having that extra food in the bank means that you're able to stay in the base a little bit longer. It means that you're able to take advantage of that second town center if you want to. Of course, you know, I expect we'll probably see a one-base play from him because that's definitely the flavor for the Norse. But have a look at this. We've got ourselves 2 ox carts coming out. 3rd ox cart as well towards the top side. And I love seeing this. You know, this is something that I do quite often as well, going into that 3 ox cart opening. It just makes sense, right? Like, you're not always going to be able to get it with 2 ox carts, so naturally you want to make sure that you've got access to that 3rd one. But it looks like we're going to have the temple coming down here as well. Going to be just throwing it in the base, so this supports the idea that it might just be a fast heroic. We could potentially see a 2nd town center coming down as well, so we'll have to keep an eye on that one. Let's take a look over on the west side of the map, and the age up will be coming through shortly here. Pegasus about to click up any second. We can see that he's got plenty of resources in the bank, but probably going to need at least one more villager out of this one. Houses coming down here as well, looking to throw the houses down around the sentry tower, which is pretty standard. Funnily enough, this never really happened for Age of Empires 3, I remember. I guess that's because you've got a little bit more range on your siege. Every unit's got like a minimum, not a minimum, yeah, I guess a minimum range of like 6 that they can throw their torches from, whereas here in AoM, you've got melee units that like to hit the buildings. So anyway, we've got the age up coming through. What's it going to be? It's going to be Athena. Definitely the most popular age up at the moment. Obviously has access to that restoration god power, which is just a really potent god power. Very difficult to tackle that, whether that be in the 2nd age or the 3rd age. Yeah, it's not pretty. We've got the Ravens now coming online as well here for Zastosi. Let's take a look and see what his age up is going to be. It's going to be Freya. One of the, I guess this is the one that you can't pick if you're playing as Loki. So it's always nice to see this, but it looks like, oh my lord, it actually got it. Damn, that town center's got some range on it. But I tell you what, I thought the Raven was going to make it out of there absolutely fine, but I guess not. Anyway, let's talk a little bit about Freya. So Freya, oh man, that's so annoying. Oh my lord. We're back. We're back. The game just paused for 4 minutes, or for like 4 seconds, but we're back. How the heck does that happen? It literally paused, and I was like, oh man, that is frustrating, because it happens all the time, but it's almost like the game just started again. We got a couple of little vills doing their thing, so I wouldn't be surprised. I probably just do an edit there for you guys, so you don't have to hear me cursing. Let's take a look at the relics. We haven't even had a look yet. We've got Gungnir, Odin's Spear, increases the attack of counter cavalry units by 5%. That's definitely a good one. 5% isn't a whole lot, but Counter cavalry units are very popular. It just makes sense to have them out because they're pretty much just good against everything, but extra good against cavalry. But we do now have Jason on the map. A little bit of damage coming through on these workers. Down towards the south side. Minotaur yet to make its way through. He's got to be careful not to lose the Vils. Does a great job of just bringing them inside. And now Freya has brought out, have a look at this, we have got, it is going to be the Valkyrie coming through here. Now keep in mind that there's always in the back pocket, I think right as that happened, you can see that we've had the fire, or the forest fire burning on the backside, but there's always the opportunity here to use the bolt on the Valkyrie, but I would probably save it for the circumstances where maybe you're getting raided by the Valkyrie, then, you know, you don't want to have to respond to it. Whereas, like, here, you know, never mind, never mind, you just hit him with it right there on the front, and I think that's a good, like, that's a high value bolt right there. I think the most important part here for Pegasus is not throwing away the restoration too early. You want to definitely get your opponent to commit to a fight. Like, even at this stage, going for the restoration, it's okay, but how good's your value going to realistically be? Like, okay, you managed to keep your heroes alive, your opponent falls back. They've still got a decent mass, though, despite that. Restoration now finished. I feel like it wasn't a super duper good value resto. It could have been a lot better than that. We now start to see raiding cavalry going to be coming out here on the defense as well. Archer numbers are increasing. We do see a number of Toxotes out now. Beautiful micro coming through from Zatosi. And slowly he will force that Minotaur back. He's got plenty of Hersiers on this front line as well. And the economy's pretty decent. Just keep in mind he is behind a couple of workers though. And slowly but steadily the numbers climbing in favor of Zatosi here. We can see that he's got a good military advantage, 25 against 13. Valkyrie now going to be coming back out finally. Immediately picks a fight though with a hero. Not always the best choice to fight up against the hero as a myth unit, but have a look at this. The cavalry's going to be making mogul moves back here, looking to pick up reinforcements. Absolutely loving it. You can see the skill coming out from Zatosi already. Very talented player. Whenever you're looking to bypass the front and then go and pick up the reinforcements, that is a high ELO move right there. Now, on the backside, keep in mind that by going into Freya, you've got access to Forest Fire. It's been utilized here. I don't know how much damage was done, but it doesn't look like the worker count was too badly affected. But the consequence of that is that we're not going to be realistically, there's not going to be many ways for you to now heal up your units, with the exception of the Valkyrie. For anyone who is playing along at home and has not witnessed this unit before, it does have the ability to heal allied units, if you can read the text that is for ants. But looks like we've got a couple of throwing axemen now getting thrown into the mix. 3 throwing axemen, a couple of raiding cavalry as well, moving around that top side, looking to come on through. Beautiful micro as well at this level. And, you know, one of the critiques I've seen for AoM Retold is that readability is not the best for this game. But I'm just going to come back. I'm going to hit you back with one of my best shots right here. Crocodile getting in on the action. Watch out, ladies and gentlemen. There he is. He's getting a little bit upset with the Toxotes. The Toxotes? No, it's going to be the hoplites instead. So let me hit you with my response. The reason why readability is so damn difficult in this game, or so difficult, I guess, it's hard in this game, is because I can zoom out so far. And when I can zoom out this far, everybody looks like ants. Like quoting Abe Simpson right there. Everybody looks like ants. Whereas once you get in a little bit closer, micro becomes easier. It's easier to click on things. It's easier to see things. And so, you know, I'm asking the devs to implement a feature or a function that allows a maximum zoom, or a zoom threshold, basically, because even though there technically is one in the game, I can just bypass it really easily. So I think mine's set to like 60%, which is probably somewhere around here. And so many times I'll just be like playing and then I'll be like, okay, and now we're gonna go look at the entire world. And then you just kind of forget about it and you play from up here, and it's difficult. But anyway, that's my rant over. Let's take a look at this, because Pegasus is on the defense. He's trying his best to hold on. We've got the Hercules out once again. More units coming through. We now start to see Jason back on the field. He's just gonna pick a fight straight with the Crocodile. No, looking to intercept some reinforcements. Running into a couple of Hersiers back here. Keep in mind, he's got some good damage. Vil's being brought forward as well. Excuse me, Pegasus. You've made it, I would say, a grave mistake, but he seems to have held it. Raven at the top side might be going down here. Let's check in and see where they're up to. Jeez, this is an action-packed game early on. We're 9 minutes into this, and they have been neck and neck. I'm impressed. I just want to say, out of the gate, I'm impressed that Zatosi held despite the restoration. That was kind of wild, and I think I learned a lot from that. Like, he just retreated out of it, but even then, I think it was probably a little bit of a mistake from Pegasus to utilize the restoration when he did. I feel like the value that he got definitely could have been a lot higher had he waited a little bit longer for that one. Because I'm sure that, if anything, Zatosi was probably baiting it out. But have a look at the numbers now, heavily in favor of our Odin player. Throwing Axeman on the backside, looking to pick off any of those melee units that it can possibly find. Cavalry doing a good job of making sure those Toxotes are very quickly dealt with. And the numbers are looking very strong here. 37 population, military population, compared to that 11 military population for Pegasus. And slowly, he's running over the top of him. We see, once again, that looks like we've got Jason that's gone off to heaven. Hercules still out on the field. Expect to see Jason return back quickly. But keep in mind, he is fighting inside the production, and it makes it always a little bit harder. Vill's going to get pulled here. Could be the difference between keeping himself afloat and not keeping himself afloat. More units continue to get rallied in, and I tell you what, these guys are so damn evenly matched, but it's starting to look more and more favorable for Zatosi as now we've got Hercules who goes down, and that is going to be it. Pegasus tapping out after 10 minutes and 38 seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, I tell you what, that was a bit of a tough one right there. That was a bit of a tough one. Impressive play coming out from Zatosi right there, demonstrating his prowess on Odin. And both players really just sticking it out on one base. No one really looking to go up to the heroic age. A little bit of extra resources in the bank here for Pegasus, but I suspect that's probably just, you know, pressure on the front, that sort of thing. But in the end, Zatosi comes out on top. Let's take a look at the post-game. I want to see exactly how many workers went down during those fights, because there was quite a few. So initially, it looks like we had a little bit of idle time from the town center, which is why we had that discrepancy in vills. And yeah, at the end, so trying to keep it alive, did end up losing about 3 or 4 vills in here. What do we go down from 38 down to 35? Yeah, so a little bit of workers lost at the end there. For resource count, have a look at that. We've got Odin ahead pretty much the entirety of the game, so pretty big difference there as well. And then let's quickly check in on the military units. So managed to hold throughout that and made it work. So in the end, well played going over to Zatosi. And hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. Anyway, we'll leave it there. And of course, we'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.